Hi, today we are with Kirti, right?
Mishra Narang.
Mishra Narang. Yeah, it's a long name, but it's a very sweet name. And she has been Mrs. India Worldwide 2018. And she has written a poem for women and for men, I would say, and for the men to be and the women to be on domestic violence.
Okay.
So we'd like to hear from her what's it about.
This poem today, okay, let me just begin with this, that today actually is an international day for elimination of violence against women, and my poetry also is on domestic violence. So it's like the title says, break silence and fight domestic violence. So that is the reason which brought me here, and I'm extremely honored to be here as an awardee. There are a lot of legendary ladies, and there are a lot of people who have done very good work and who are already in their 80s who are being awarded here.
Yes, you're sharing the stage with them.
So to share the stage with them is so much inspiring, and it's a motivation thing for me. And it's like it's a push. More than that little trophy, it is like a push that yes, you are on the right direction, and you must keep moving on and get inspired from others and keep inspiring others.
So this poem, what you've written, it's in English?
Yes, it's in English.
You want to say some 2 lines or something?
Maybe in a while.
Okay, in a while, that would be fine. And what do you feel that today violence against women, is it only in India, or do we have violence against women even in overseas, say in US or Australia or any other country?
Unfortunately, women, despite of being such a pillar of strength and the creator of a life, she has to face this throughout the entire world, because that is the reason it is not only Indian day, it's an international day that is being celebrated. So unfortunately, it is happening all over the world. But the good thing is that ideally this day should not exist, because women should be worshipped, they should be loved, they should be nurtured, they should be just celebrated, for giving a life. But ironically, we have to celebrate this day. We have to realize people that, by this day that yes, the plight of women is so poor that whether it is about rape or domestic violence or not gender inequality, there are so many things where women suffer, and that is the reason this day holds some kind of importance.
Actually, women, they have their own earnings, They work and they reach the top positions. We have a lot of examples. We have Indra Nui.
Absolutely.
We have Chanda Kochar, who are in the banking sector, who are heading Pepsi International MNCs. And then the emancipation of women over the ages, has been there. In India, we had the freedom fighters, we had Rani Jhansi. So why still is it a men-dominated society? You feel that the rape or violence takes place against even the girl child?
Absolutely.
Why is it so?
See, it's absolutely a patriarchy society. We have to accept it, and that is the reason, we have to fight for it, because this should not, maybe our future generation should not face this, and by that time this world patriarchy should be just demolished from the books and everywhere. But yes, we know about Sita Mata, we know about Ahalya, even the mythological, if you see the way the Indian ladies have been the pillar of sacrifice, and they have gone through so much. So probably that is what we kept, we have been hearing and learning. So this is quite rooted in Indian generation blood. So especially particularly India, because I'm an Indian, so I should be talking more about India. So though, of course, we are 2 sisters and our father never made us feel the way. So there are parents who are quite broad-minded, who are quite, even if I've heard from a lot of my friends who just want one baby, and if you ask them what is a baby choice, is they want a baby girl. So things are changing, no doubt. But yes, it's only, it has still not reached the rurals, and it has not reached that to that level where we should be, we should stop focusing on this as an issue.
When we're talking about the baby girl, the girl child, so we feel that in certain states, the sex ratio, it's imbalanced. So is it because more girls are born in particular states, so they have that violence there, and in some states, there are fewer girls? Compared to the male child.
Haryana, Punjab, and there are certain places which are quite known.
Those states are known for more violence.
Even feticides, female feticides. So this all exists. It's existing in today's world as well.
So how do we eradicate? Whereas in our southern states it's different.
See, again, I think these forums really do help, because when more and more women, what they are doing, like you took such good names, these days social media playing such a vital role. We got to know about Indra Nuri, family, and lot of
Yes.
through those messages, what exactly that lady feels, right from sitting in USA, she could share that little video, and that made so much of difference in the outlook of people. So the same way, I think these forums where you have these seminars, when people talk about it, people share what they have gone through. Like today also, we had a lady who had gone through domestic violence, and how she overcome that. There was one lady who has few children, and her husband passed away quite early in her life and married life, and she looked after them very, very well, and all of her children are well established today. So we have certain examples, and that needs to be brought to the people that women are no less. And actually speaking about this rape, it's really, really sad that what our little daughters are going through. It is absolutely heinous crime. Earlier there was a saying that parents ke saath jaoge, bhai ke saath jaoge, then it is still
safer,
you are safer.
please.
But then I think the crime rate has changed the whole picture. Now,
is it due to the what do you call the internet?
Absolutely,
or is it
of course.
through the cinema? How do you blame cinema?
Cinema, I would really not blame because I feel that this is, again, there are different kinds of cinema, and it caters to different kinds of people. So what you want to watch, like Padmavat, you can watch movies like Padmavat, you can watch movies like Mission Mangal. I was so influenced by Mission Mangal. Again, if you
women
who are, forget, homemakers, women who are actually working at NASA, or women who are working at ISRO. What they showed that
they're influencers.
They who are working on a project like Mission Mangal, and at home the plight is same. They were actually responsible for if the children are not performing well, or maid not coming, then also there is a fight in the at home. So basic roots are still the same. So it's again on us what we want to see, what kind of cinema we want to cater to. So I would really not say that we can blame cinema, because there are a lot of good movies being made, and very educational cinema, very relevant,
yes.
powerful, impactful.
We have the
cinema.
India International Film Festival going in Goa right now, so there have been a lot of films going for that. And I want to ask you the last question. It's about sports. So are you into any kind of sports?
Not
indoor or outdoor?
Not really.
Okay.
However, I have two little ones, and because of them, they are into sports, and because of them, they
what
probably.
What sports do they play?
My elder one plays football. My younger.
You have a daughter?
Yes, and she loves. She's just trying her hands on badminton. So I give them company, but yes, of course, and I give my husband company in watching the UP Yodha, from UP Yodha to that that pro kabaddi to cricket. Yeah. But yes,
actually,
not too much of a
women have
person.
to be in hands, so that the family, once means the women, and if she's supporting the men folk. Then the men, I hope through this, we're trying to get this message that they should equally respect women, and they should not take them ki bhai hamari dasi hai. What is the Indian man's psyche,
Absolutely,
it's been there. Despite their pampering with their mothers, still they feel that when they get married, so they want to take the women on the other side. So I think through what you've been conveying and through that poem of yours,
I would like to now. Yes. Since you are talking on the same line, I'll just give you a few extracts from that. Of course, this is basically the woman got married, and she was very happily married, and then she realized that she's been a victim of domestic violence. So she decides to just walk away and make her own decision, rather than just surviving and giving her children also a negative and wrong impression to just bear the brunt and like that. So it goes like this. She walked out of marriage and abuse and became inspiration for others. Respect women. We must teach our sons and brothers. A new life woman can create. Love and compassion woman can generate. Domestic violence she would never tolerate.
It's beautiful, and I hope in the future you are giving some kind of talks, the women talks, or the talks for against physical abuse for the girl child and for the women and for the men. Because if men don't hear those talks, then they're not going to get influenced, and we want change in the society. Thank you for speaking to us. Sanjay Agrawal at the Indian International Center.